Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. In this one, we are looking at NEO stock again. If you remember last night, we actually did take a quick look at NEO stock, and I said that the next few days for this one are definitely going to be crucial because I said, depending on whether we see a recovery or, a further decline in the price, I think it's going to determine where I think this one is going for the long term in the future. So actually we saw an increase in the price, and I decided going off of that event alone, it would be a good time to do an update on the stock. So yeah, if that sounds like a good episode, please do like and subscribe. You know that we're trying to get to 100,000 now. It's a very ambitious goal. It's going to take us a long time, but you guys could speed it up by just pressing that small subscribe button. So let's take the smaller step to 10,000 and get there hopefully before January next year. Very ambitious, but I believe with your help we can do it. So if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe. On top of that, come and join our Discord. Link is in the description. So yeah guys, we're going to have a quick look starting off on the 6-month chart, and then we're going to move in and I'm going to give you the context on NEO stock. So if you guys already don't know, you will find out right here. So I'm sure you do know, but yeah, so what we saw here was we saw a huge breakout in NEO stock, mainly from of course the 14th of October, so even slightly earlier on the 12th actually. But you know what, we have been seeing steady inclines since the start of the year, but I think it's crucial to note this part because this is when it went up the most. Obviously, a lot of this is due to a few what we call catalysts, and when I say catalysts, I mean factors which drive the speed of the stock upwards. So of course the stock was going up faster because there were a few good pieces of information coming out about the company. Most notably, the sales figures were hitting highs every single month, every single quarter. We had upgraded reports from analysts which were saying that the stock's going to reach a new high of this price, this price, this price. They kept updating it and people were so happy to buy NEO stock. But you know what? In the most recent period, we have seen a sell-off from the highs of around $55. From those highs, we have gone down all the way to about $40, but from here, it looks like we may be picking up. So let's move into the 1 month now to give you that perspective. So you know what, for the majority of the month we have been climbing even. We started off the month on 33, we saw highs in the month of 55, 38, and you can see from those highs we kind of did take a small dip, and then that just led on to what we saw later in the week, when on the Monday when the markets opened, the stock fell quite significantly. So you can see from the Monday it dipped, and then from today, which is obviously Wednesday, we are looking at the stock price being back up. Now, I think that this kind of does show some strength in NEO stock. I don't know why it's gone off, but yeah, we saw some strength in NEO stock because, with a sell-off, I think it could potentially be over now, simply due to the fact that, yes, this company's stock was, in my opinion, overvalued. I mean, I do think it is a good company, but, it gets to the point where the price goes up and up and up so fast, and you've got to ask yourself, are we getting a good deal right now? Now, of course, a little bit of correction here and there is not necessarily a bad thing, and I do believe that is what we saw with NEO. The price went down quite a bit. I think that's just correction in the stock's price, putting it back on track to where it should be. I think a lot of people, when they do see the price of stocks, they expect to see things, that are, like this graph on screen, for instance, where it's just a steady incline. And you know what? If you guys aren't new to investing, if you have been investing for a long time, I'm sure you will know that is not the case. When we are buying stocks and whatnot, the prices do fluctuate, so it hits highs, it goes to lows, but we do need to draw a straight line through that to have a look if the price is going up over time. Looking at this for an overtime period, I personally do believe that this stock is going to go up in the future years, and I think that's due to the fact that, whilst the company was being overvalued due to a few other catalysts which were external to the company, such as, like I said, analyst ratings being upgraded and whatnot, I think there are a few factors inside of the company which do still make it a reputable brand and a company which could see huge growth in the future. One of which is the fact that it's only the Chinese market. As we know, that is a huge market to be penetrated, especially with electric cars. But you know what? If we do export these cars to Europe, to the United States, to Australia, all around the world, we could be seeing a lot larger revenue figures. I'm sure that some of the first of these cars did come to Europe the other month, but it's still not a lot of the cars indeed. We need to see a few thousand of the cars, if not more, start to get exported to this country. And once this brand does potentially become a household name over here and in the Western world in general, rather than in China, I think we could see the revenue figures increase. Of course, if that was to happen, I don't think it'd be anytime soon. I think we're looking at a few years, before we would see that, if at all. But if we did see that, I would definitely consider this a stock to buy. Regardless, I still do consider it a long-term stock play. Of course, a lot of people are taking bets on this one, expecting it to go up or down in the short term. But even NIO being a volatile stock, I do see it in the same realm as I do see Tesla. Maybe not on the price front, but I can see it breaking $200. But I don't see it on the price front 100%, because of course Tesla went over $1,000 at one point. I see this one as being rather, the same kinds of growth, but lower actual figures for the actual price. So potentially, instead of a few thousand, looking at a few hundred, which is still good growth for the stock. But even in that instance, I would see this being a bit slower than what we have seen on the past year. I would see this being over a couple of years, and I think that's still definitely not a bad thing. If you guys can hold out on this one and hold it for a few years, it could still be a good buy, and I don't think that now is a particularly bad price at all. Of course, it's still on you guys if you do want to wait a few days, because I am not a financial advisor and the stock could still take a dip, but we will be updating you when that does happen, or if that does happen, and what does happen in the next few days. So yes, I would personally buy NIO stock. I actually have some NIO stock, and that's just my opinion on it for now. So if you do want to see an update, please do leave a like and subscribe, and I will give you the latest update as soon as we have some important news to report on. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.